Today we are test driving the E39 535 V8 model. This is the 1997 result. The ABS module is behind the glove box and it didn't experience any of the problems that the later car did. Now, I must admit this is one of my personal favourites. This car has had a lot of money spent on it. It started off initially as a 535 standard. It's now got the M5 spoilers, the original M5 alloys. It's got coilover shocks, and it has AC Schnitzer written literally everywhere, so I don't think anything's been done to the engine, but it may have been modified in that department too. As I say, this is the V8, the M62 engine. Now, this car, rear view vision, is pretty much perfect. The headrests ever so slightly obstruct the view, but you really do have a very, very good vision out the back window. As for the side mirrors, BMW have got it right with this car, and it's amazing how many cars don't get it right. This car has very long and very narrow wing mirrors, which enable you to be able to see exactly where you've been and more. It is a very simple design, and it's something that you just don't see in cars nowadays. Maybe you get the large ones in the big Range Rovers and the similar cars to that, but in saloon cars you never see them like this, and it's a major flaw in car manufacturing. Now, this is the automatic, and it's got a adaptive gearbox. It does recognise your driving style. It has also the manual selection too, which I will comment on later on because it comes from a more enthusiastic drive. Now, I think it would be fair to say that being a V8, this car is a little bit lazy in the lower band. So I'll do an 0 to 60 test now. It's not a slow car to 60 by any standards, but it's not really until you get the mid-range area that you really start to see the deliverance of the power that is underneath the bonnet. Once you get to about 60 miles an hour, full throttle, this car gets so much mid-range torque it unleashes hell, and before you know it, you're going 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 miles an hour and beyond. There is an enormous delivery of power once you get to about 60 miles an hour, and that's what makes this car fantastic for motorways. Having the wider wheels on it and the M5 alloys, the coilover shocks, it's a much sturdier suspension, and it makes for a fantastic ride. I wouldn't say it's uncomfortable at all. It is firm, it is hard, but this car is a big car and it just loves the corners. This has had a 4 exhaust put on, which is a bit similar to the M5, and it makes one hell of a noise. In fact, this car sounds so nice, I could drive this car just on the sound alone. What a car, fantastic. Everything's electric seats, obviously electric windows. I mean, what car doesn't have electric windows? The mirrors fold in, you have the sunroof. It's a very nice package on the inside. It's a stunning car, cosmetically. Very comfortable, huge seats, all leather, very stylish. I think this is where BMW's, especially the 5 Series, it's probably the last period of good looks that have been around for a while, because obviously the E34 was a very good car. E39, not a bad looking car too. This one has the facelift angel eyes. If I had any criticism with this car, I would have to say maybe the steering could be a bit tighter. There is quite a bit of play there actually, and I think in the M5 there is a sports button which tightens the steering, and I would like to have seen the steering tightened on this car. But it loves the corners, and you stick the cruise control on and this car just You could drive at 150 miles an hour all day in this car, you just would not have any problems with it at all. It's so solidly built, it's just quality through and through. This particular car at this time of this recording would be 15 years old, going on 16 years old, and as far as I'm concerned, this car drives probably just as it did when it came off the showroom. That is a testament of just how good BMWs were and have been, and probably still are. What this car has is the self-adjusting rear view mirror. I know in the M5s there were some problems with those this time. 3, 2, 1, go. Traction control there. Slow start there because we did hit a manhole cover. Now the traction control, which is the ASC in this one, if I switch it off there, a light comes on here on the dashboard. Well, that's obviously for different road situations and circumstances. Now with this particular car, if the MAF sensor fails, that traction light will come on and you'll lose the traction control. What on earth they have to do with each other, I'm not too sure, but just a little sign there just in case you have one of these and you are experiencing the ASC light stuck on. Have a look at your MAF sensor, get your code read. Fantastic car this, everything about it. It's a great car anyway, but it has been improved so much. Such a sturdy ride, such a fast car, it's so powerful, it sounds beautiful. You have the room in here to pick up 4 or 5 people comfortably. You can blast down the motorway 120 miles an hour all day. It is a little bit thirsty, but one thing I have discovered with this car is if you use the more expensive premium fuels, it does make an enormous difference and you do get a lot more value for your money. The brakes on this car are exceptional. That doesn't surprise me. They were great on the E34, the 5 Series, and the modern BMs are great as well, and I'm going to do a test on those in a moment. Won't be an emergency stop, it'll just be a firm brake. This particular model has the larger front discs, which were off the 540 I believe. The very first E39s had the smaller discs at the front. Very relaxing car to drive this, it really is silky smooth. The gearbox, transition is just effortless, it's just all the way along now. Really is a driver's car this. I thought maybe being an automatic it might be a little bit anaesthetised, but oh no, quite the opposite. You know, driving down the motorway, cruising along, got to get past something, manual drop gear. Blimey. BMW, they certainly know how to make their cars. And it's hard to think, but after this you've got the 540, which I believe is a 4.4, and then you've got the mighty M5. There is a video on the M5. Now I'm doing 55 miles an hour. I'm going to do a firm brake. 3, 2, 1, 50 miles an hour now. Absolutely superb. Everything balanced, synchronized. ABS came in then. The car was constantly correcting itself. Wow.